lot of exciting news in New Jersey and Delaware, with the angling excitement that is. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the Fisherman Magazine, and these final days in April, and things are really taking fire. Got great bluefish reports, some of the best spring bluefish action in years. We've got weakfish showing up throughout South Jersey. The drum bite along the Delaware is starting to kick into gear. I've also got tuna to report. No kidding, I swear. But the big news right now for you inshore guys is striped bass, and our first 50-pound trophy striped bass reported just this past week. That was April 25th. Austin Nee and his family, they were dragging stretches up near the Earl Pier on the Raritan, hooked up with a fine 50-pound striped bass. You're not going to see this in any tackle shops that I've heard so far. Austin sent this picture to us, and he bogeyed this, had that weigh-in on the boat. A terrific job. He did his best to release this fish. These fish are feeding on herring and bunker. The bunker are in thick throughout the region, and of course, the stretch plugs, the Rapala X-Rap Magnums, and the Russell lures. These are terrific lures to use right now. The May edition of the Fisherman Magazine has a great article from Gary Caputi talking about these stretch plugs. They go at certain depths. If you're marking those fish on the depth finder at 10 feet or 15 feet or 20 feet, there's one of these stretches that's perfect for you. The Rapalas are terrific. Check out the article, and maybe you too can get that trophy striped bass you've been looking for. So the run is on. We've got our first 50, and that's just terrific news. Other exciting news, big bluefish racing through Barnegat Inlet, dispersing throughout the Barnegat Bay. We've got bluefish reports up and down the coast. Cameron and Adeline Powell, 9.3 pounds down at Lewis Harbor in Delaware. The Delaware Bay shore is taken off with bluefish and striped bass, a couple of drum as well. Broadkill Beach has been very popular. Broadkill is written up in the May edition of the Fisherman Magazine. Eric Burnley spotlights that. And I mentioned Barnegat Bay because those big bluefish, 5 to 10 pounds or more, are racing throughout the bay. Anglers have been keeping their lines tight, rods bent, throwing plugs, the metals, and it really is, this is about one of the best runs of spring bluefish we've seen maybe in 10 years. In Barnegat Bay, as far up as Island Heights, you've got Murphy's Hook House reporting big bluefish. Sharpen those hooks, take down the barbs, and get in on this action, because it was a good 4 or 5 days of solid action. I plan to be up at the South Jetty sometime this afternoon looking for them as well. It's a good training session to get in on some of these big bluefish. So I would imagine these fish are going to continue to push farther up into the north beyond the lookout. Weakfish, I mentioned weakfish. We haven't had weakfish in years, it seems, but now folks are targeting them. Al Credelli on the Bayhound Charters, he's been finding some weakfish catches, some regular reports behind Sea Isle. I know those fish are coming back behind Barnegat Bay. We've also heard of some weakfish reports farther in the northern coast. So get those plastics out. It's time to start hunting for weakfish again. It's been a few years. Tog. We've got Tog is going on through the end of this week in New Jersey. We've got that open season, and then the spring Tog season is going to come to a close as of May 1st. No more Tog fishing until sometime this summer. Alex Olazewski had his first weigh-in in the Beach and Boat Challenge, the New Jersey Beach and Boat Challenge. Alex brought a 6.92 pound Tog over to Creekside Outfitters. Check out the leaderboard, because I would imagine too, not just with Tog, but with those bluefish, you're sure to see some bluefish on that leaderboard, and particularly on the Fisherman Magazine's Dreamboat leaderboard. You subscribers, you're keyed in on that. The black drum bite, it's been drifting throughout South Jersey, back behind Little Egg, the Little Beach, Little Egg Harbor, the guys along Graveling Point. And I know the May fishery is going to really break open down on the Delaware Bay in the next several days. By the time you're looking at this or leafing through your May edition of the Fisherman Magazine, the Delaware Bay fleet is going to be on the drum, so make sure you book your charters now, because they're going to fill up fast. I would recommend going down to Fortescue. The Bonanza's making their first drum trip coming up this week. Call Higbee's. Look in the magazine. Find those Cape May boats that are sailing for drum, because that action's going to kick in real quickly. Things are warming up. You know, you think about this. What are the 3 things that really affect guys getting out and trying for fish? Well, there's the available fish. You got a good weather window, and gas prices. Our gas prices are pretty good this year. I just drove past a gas station today, $2.25. So what does this all mean? Well, Take a look at this. This is ROF's report from last week. Any of you offshore guys certainly are using the electronic, the satellite services, whether it's ROF's or Lenny Belcaro's offshore satellite services. Blue water with surface temperatures between 65 and 70 degrees from the Hudson to the Wilmington. That was the report last week. So what's it going to take to get guys going offshore and looking for tuna? Well, my friend Andy Wurst did it. He saw that window, good gas prices, good water, headed offshore last week, went 10 for 10 on bluefin and also trolled up a nice yellowfin. Is it too early? April? Everybody sits back and waits for these reports to come in. The recon missions have begun. Some people aren't talking about it. Way to go, Andy. Is Andy accurate? Did he really catch this? Andy doesn't tell tales. He's a veterinarian. He fixes tales. So he's on the fish. I would advise you to wait for those weather windows. Take a good look at where the water is, and you can hook up when you take that opportunity. We do have a coastal storm coming up later on this week. Maybe it'll push some of the bait and some more of those stripers in close. I don't know. But that window that you've got the next couple of days, take advantage of it. Bluefish, drum, striped bass to 50 pounds. The action's here from Delaware all the way through the New Jersey coast up onto the Raritan Bay. Get in on it now, and I'll see you next week on The Fisherman and thefisherman.com.
To receive the latest fishing reports, subscribe to The Fisherman's YouTube page. Click subscribe, then click the settings button and check Send Me Updates. You'll now receive notifications of the latest Fisherman YouTube videos and reports. If you're already a subscriber, make sure you've checked Send Me Updates in the settings so you receive the latest notifications.